Hey y'all, it's Natalie, and today I am playing along with my friend Sarah Scraps and her Facebook group, Rediscover Your Stash. And this month we are focused on being messy, which we all know that I love. So I am doing some mixed media on this layout about my son Heath and his debut at our local community theater in their, their youth acting program. Sorry, I'm saying so much. And so I cut out a title with my Cricut, and it says, so apparently I'm dramatic, because he is. And I'm going to use this Crafter's Companion star stamp and some textured white cardstock, and I have clear gesso on it already in the middle. So I'm inking up my Crafter's Companion stamp with some Wow embossing powder, and I'm just placing it in a few places along the page, around the page, and I'm using my stamping bug to help stick it down. And then I'm going to use some clear embossing powder by Wow, and it's going to create a resist texture with heat embossing. And then I'm going to create watercolor on top of it, and so it will resist in the areas that the heat embossing exists, and it will create a nice pattern. So here I am curing the embossing powder, and it's a little bit hard to see. It was a little bit hard for me to see. I'll make sure I didn't miss any spots, but you can kind of see a star pattern. And now I'm going to go in with some of my sprays. So I have a big collection of different watercolor sprays, and that's what you see me placing here. And you can see that where the star embossing areas are resisting accepting the watercolor. So it just kind of sits on top. And so I'm going to just pounce. I have a very nice big round brush here, and so I like to do a little pouncy action, and so that helps with spreading the splatter. And then I put pink next to the purple, but it kind of blended in, so I'm going back in and adding a second coat and then doing the same pouncy action with that. And then I'm going to add a blue color, and so it's this like lovely turquoise. The sprayer wasn't spraying very well, so I end up I think I do mess around and like spray little tiny spritz here, but I end up just kind of opening it and using my paintbrush within the spray. And please note, I do not stick my paintbrush in the spray without cleaning it off first, because I definitely don't want to mix the colors. And that green sprayed really nicely, so I go in with like this neon green. And so I was making this, and I just kind of was picking colors and that are kind of in the production that he was in. It was Xanadu Jr., and so it's like it was based in the 80s, and so I was kind of going with that theme. And then I thought, man, these look like the aurora the other night, the northern lights we saw. I don't know if you guys saw them, but it was like a highlight of my life. Here in Tennessee, in my own backyard, I saw the aurora borealis, and honestly, my only regret is that I did not wake up my kids, because I thought that we were going to be able to see it the next night, and then we were not, and I was very sad. But the background colors reminded me of that, and I guess that just means I'll have to take them to see it some other time, right? Maybe up to Iceland. So I am using the spray inserts now to help splatter the colors. I'm kind of color blocking them, spraying them onto the areas. You can see it dried much, much lighter than what it originally looked like. And that part of that is because I wiped it up. I did the Missy wooden like roll, the paper towel roll thing. But also it just tends to do that. And I mix them with water, and so that happens as well. So I'm using the inserts of the sprayers, but I'm also using a really small paintbrush. And that gives me two different sizes of splatters. And there you can see a close-up. And what I did with the splatters is I did not roll them up. So I did not roll over them with the paper towels. I let them dry naturally, and can see that they are quite a bit darker. So that was kind of like the look I was going for. Now I'm ready to place my photos back on and my title. And I cut that title out of a Crafter's Consortium paper pad called Retro Summer. And I'll link it down below I'll link it down below. If it's not in stock, then it should become back in stock, and a cherry on top. It was kind of like this thing that I found that I hadn't really been on my radar, and it was gorgeous. The papers are amazing. And then kind of like, I think I got everybody to buy it. So it might be out of stock. But if it comes back in stock, you need to grab it, because it's absolutely stunning. And it has lots of the bright papers like this. But I've mostly used them as background paper, so it was fun to use them to cut out this time. So I decided that I wanted to do pops of black around my page. And so I used that same stamp and I inked up just little portions of it and with my black soot distress oxide. Or no, this isn't oxide. This is just distress ink. And I'm just kind of stamping it around the page, allowing the stars to peek out from behind the photos, and then just putting a few clusters around the page as well, not necessarily underneath the photos. And then after I do that, I'm gonna stick down the ink pad, add water, do a little watercolor, and do some black splatters around the page. Pops of black, when I have what I would call maybe a rainbow background, are always like a favorite thing that I like to add. I'll go ahead and mention this is a hop. Sarah does this every month with her Rediscover Your Stash script, and it's super fun and it's super full of talent. And so I will have the hop link down below if you want to click everything, click along, go see all the amazing inspiration, see what everybody created. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hop along as well. I backed my photos in black to help with those pops of black. And now I'm positioning them around the page. And I did decide that I wanted a nice space in between that so I can put the word apparently. And then I dug into my Whatever collection, or Whatevs, I think is the name of the collection, by American Crafts. And it's a little snarky, and it's actually kind of maybe geared towards like not positive scrapbooking. So like maybe like if you're having a bad day or something. But it had all of these really cool, cute, iridescent black stars. And I also pulled out the rainbows, but I ended up not using the rainbows. But it had all these stars, so I decided to use the stars, that little rainbow star there. I'm inking it up with some black ink around the edges. It had the little ribbons with the stars on the inside, so I really like the stars. Because he's a star, he's on stage. So I liked the nod with the stars. I have stars in the background, right? That bottom picture you can see is the little girl that was the star of the show. And she was Kira in the movie Xanadu, or the show Xanadu. It was Xanadu Junior, so it was for children, and it it's kind of for children. I think a lot of it maybe went over their heads, but and then they are like Greek goddesses, and so he was a part of the Greek chorus, and so he's wearing women's PJs was his costume, which is super funny, but they're like just like silky little PJs. And so he's doing a Greek pose there in the top photo. I have a ton of photos, of course, and so I'm going to do a pocket page, a companion pocket page with this one. I don't know. I'll probably end up doing a couple more just full-size pages as well. It was a big deal. It was awesome. So he was just in the Greek chorus that time, and then he's already got another production this summer. They do a summer camp, and then at the end they do another 4 shows, a whole long thing. They're doing Wizard of Oz, and he's paid his dues a little bit, and he has gotten to know them, and so he's got a little bit of a bigger part this time, and so I can't wait to see him. This is his thing, y'all. This is totally his thing. He's so good at it. And he loves it. He loves every second of it. So in the movie and the show, she roller skates everywhere. So that is why I added these roller skates. These are from LDRS. And I saved the pink one because I was like, you know what? I need one for the pockets that I'm going to do, the pocket pages. So I just sprinkled the black stars around. I stuck a couple of those cassette tape stickers underneath the skates as another pop of bright color, a nod to the 80s as well because they're cassette tapes. And I think we're about to call it the quit. Oh, I was actually like waving goodbye. I'm like shaking. I'm like, look how cute it is. And I'm like, wait. We need a little more because, it's not busy enough, right? So I go grab a few star stamps, and I'm going to use that black soot distress ink as well. Again, and I'm going to do multi-generational stamping all around the edges of this page with a few different star stamps. And so it's going to look like a really cool distressed star edge to it. And then I'm going to go back with a ink blending brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink around the edges. I told my friends, they're making me do a challenge in a little bit that's going to be focused on being clean and simple. And I was like, oh, this really is a challenge for me, guys. And so I think I had that subconsciously in my head, and I was like, I'll show them. You were going to make me be clean and simple? Well, why don't I just put all the things on this page? I actually end up really liking it though, so it's okay. I think it definitely needs that little pop of pink that I end up adding at the end with the ink blending around the edges, and it helps bring the color from the middle to the edges, and it's really fun. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to link down below with any of the products that I've used, affiliate links if you are interested in using those. But if not, that's all cool. Please hop along though with Sarah's Rediscover Your Stash hop. Like I said, it's super full of inspiration. And mixed media and being messy is the theme for this month. And I think it's always super fun to watch everybody's techniques. And I always get like lots of good little tips on how they do this and that. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.